So I think that's what I'd like to do. We have a
That's fine. We can just get a temperature check on that. Is that cool with everybody? And then
all right. Do we have the microphone? We're going to mic. I'm sorry. What is it?
Joe.
Joe. You're going to mic Joe first.
Alright, so
just go in a pocket.
yeah.
Right?
I have the other camera, yeah.
Sort of process.
That'd be a really good idea.
And then
Yay, she's gonna be on Wall Street.
and then
Let me take this scarf off. And this should just like
Yeah, excellent.
something like that.
yeah, that's
Something like that is perfect. Actually, let me put it the other side so that it's outside. And then if you can pull a little bit, we'll see.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Alex.
Hello, how are you? I love you. Oh, I love you too.
Thanks for
I
coming.
haven't seen you forever. Wow, what a treat. So many wonderful people.
Make sure that we turn this on.
Oh, yeah, that's probably
Would
important.
be helpful.
Yes.
Yes, it is on. Can you say
Check,
something?
check, check. No, not getting anything yet.
Okay.
Is the, oh no, the mute's not on, right?
No.
Check, check. Check. It does say the low battery light is on. I think the low battery light is on. I don't know if
that's
oh,
not.
That's just on, okay. Check,
Maybe my headphones just do really bad.
check, check, check.
The other volume was down really low. Sorry.
Check, yeah? Oh, you can, oh great. Okay, so just put it back in my pocket?
Yep.
Awesome.
It's kind of windy.
Yeah, it's sort of windy, and we're going to try maybe to face this way
Okay,
because we have the traffic is closer this way and makes more noise.
okay.
All right, we're going to be shooting this way, guys. So if you can go in the back here.
Oh, I wrote patches to get out to them.
Cool.
I'm not sure. Can I try the unifier?
Yeah, sure.
Would it make sense, I wonder if it would make more sense to talk while I'm setting it up?
Yeah.
Or have you guys set it up while,
No, I think it'd be good to
Yeah.
to talk while setting it up. I think it'd also be good to not start with the cop masks though. Let's put those away.
why don't you go tell Morgan?
Let's not start with the Unimic and actually rest it on my shoulder.
Yeah,
I mean, I am a short person, so it might
probably.
help.
Yeah, no,
But I think I'd be even more stable that way. And then I don't have to be a human primus. That way we can talk a bit about how like she becomes alive.
Sure.
I know. Whatever you
We
want
should
to
fix her
talk
crown too. I'm meaning to go and like fix the armature just a little. Oh, it's so nice to be in Liberty Square. I haven't been here in like a week and a half. Like I almost yelled when I came in. I was almost like, occupy! And then I was like, no, we're doing a teach-in. I'll just be a little quieter.
We're not with the men, guys.
But I'm actually really fucking excited she might go to
Yeah.
Wall Street.
That'd be awesome. Lead her down. Really cool.
Hey, guess what we're gonna do this morning? Did you know that Miss Liberty's never been on actual Wall Street?
No.
She's gonna go say hello to George Washington, I think.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Let's have her wave. They need to now. It's on my shoulder, and I'm like,
And I think they'll be just about the same height too in the scale, which is funny.
All right, so let's.
If you guys want, we can
Yeah,
have
if you can tell us what we're going to do.
Okay, sure.
Don, you can come a little
This
closer.
okay. Can I just ask people? Could you guys just bring stuff over to me and I'll start setting her up? But I think I'm gonna stay in frame. Hello. So I should tell you what I'm doing.
Yeah, and you can talk to.
Okay.
Emily.
Emily, nice to meet you, Emily.
Nice to meet you.
So my name is Joe. We're here with the Occupy Wall Street Puppetry Guild and a lot of other wonderful people, and we're gonna set up our Lady Liberty puppet for you. Step one, let's put the head rod on first. Oh, here she is. All right. Feel free to shout out questions too as I'm doing this, but should I just rattle on about her perhaps as I'm setting her up? Great. One sec. So she was okay, and now I'm remembering how to put it together. We have to do this first. I'll just put this down. So Lady Liberty was built about week 3 of the occupation. I got arrested in week 2 and then decided I was gonna do some shit to get back at it. So this was my reaction to getting arrested on the Brooklyn Bridge. I wanted to make a puppet that was sort of non-controversial in the sense that, like, sorry, do you need to be louder?
Keep wrestling your mic up, zipper, yeah. You don't have to zip it down that low, just keep it away from your collar.
Okay. I'll unzip.
Okay, that works too.
Crazy.
Pneumonia.
So she's been a really wonderful symbol of the movement because she kind of represents, I mean, she represents liberty, she represents freedom, she represents what both sides theoretically want, you know? She makes cops smile, which I just always think is a super awesome thing to be able to do. It takes a bit to make an NYPD officer smile. We had to make her collapsible because we don't have any transportation readily available except for the subway. So you saw how she breaks down, unscrews. It's basically all made with broomsticks. Her head is on a broomstick. And her arms are on broomsticks, so it's all removable. Can I have one of her arm rods?
Yeah, here,
Thank you. So technically, you're not allowed to have sticks longer than a certain length in protests, marches, and things. So she's kind of always illegal because she has 3 giant sticks. But again, she's a fun puppet, so cops generally are scared to mess with her. We did have one situation in the Bronx where they made us take all of her broomsticks out and give them to the cops. And so that was totally silly. Could you hold that, James?
Where does it say in the Constitution that you can't have
I think
more than?
I think Bloomberg needs to read up on the Constitution, perhaps.
Is that a New York statute or is that a state
You know,
statute?
it's funny. I've contacted a bunch of lawyers to say, okay, there's this law that everyone says is there. What's the exact measurement? Like, is it 6 inches? Is it a foot? Is there a diameter of the stick that's not allowed? And some pretty good lawyers have not been able to determine those answers. They can't quite find it. They can't quite find, like, the specifics of what we're trying to adhere to. So it's one of those rules that is pretty arbitrary and just used whenever they feel like it.
Kind of make it up as they go.
Yeah. It's the same thing like this park. There's a whole list of things that are now not allowed in this park. And you can go and ask any of these guys in the yellow vests, oh, could I see the list of what's allowed in this park? And they'll say, oh, we don't have it posted. And then you say, oh, can I get it online? And say, no, it's not finished yet. And say, okay, is there someone I can call to ask what's on the list? I'm like, no, we'll tell you what's on the list. It just allows them to be arbitrary when they want to. So there's one hand. I guess, should I talk about what she's built of? She's built mostly just from cardboard, broomsticks, newspaper, glue, and burlap, and then painted. I can get more into that specifics of building if that's what you guys want to talk about.
Since you're Mike, should we have someone else on the body?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, James, will you be on the body?
James wants to be on the body.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, he's a sturdy man.
Does anyone have a bag I can throw my laptop in?
Oh, your laptop? Maybe not.
Awesome. I don't know if I can trust you. Shut up. All right. When you're ready. There's a bunch of shit in there, but we'll just. Are there any? Should I speak more specifically on any part of that?
We have questions.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Together, okay? So that way they don't split.
Yeah, and none of us were really involved with street theater before this. I don't think, maybe Morgan, you might have done some stuff, but I certainly haven't been, and most of the members haven't been. So we're constantly learning how to do things like the trees, for instance. We learned actually Liberty Square is not a great place for Liberty because she has to deal with trees. Scaffolding, there's scaffolding all over New York City, so we had to like come up with a system to duck her through scaffolding on marches. Do you have other?
Are you full-time occupiers or just during the protests and marches?
That's a very interesting way to phrase that. Yes, someone asked me, when do you occupy? I was Skyping with a friend the other day and said, oh, so when do you occupy? And I looked around and said, I'm occupying right now. What do you mean? I think, yeah, once occupation, to me personally, this is totally me, not official movement thing or anything, but it's a state of mind. It's a commitment to advancing a set of ideals and working towards a more fair, more just world. So, I mean, I don't ever say, okay, I'm going to take 5 minutes off from fighting for those things while I go play some video games. Though I do occasionally play some video games, but much less since Occupy Wall Street started.
What's your goal ultimately?
My personal goal. My personal goal is to help create a world that's a fair world where our basic needs are provided for, where healthcare, education, and housing are rights and not privileges, where the incredible inequity in wealth that has created so many problems in our country and in our society don't exist anymore. Where there isn't this incredible wealth gap and I mean there's I could go on and on about specifics. I'm still figuring a lot of that out, and that's one of the nice things about Occupy is you don't have to come with answers. You have to come with a willingness to talk with other people and try to figure out the answers. So there's still lots and lots of the specific goals that I'm still figuring out for me personally. But if you ask that question of everybody else, they'd have their own answers too.
What have you achieved since September?
Well, we built this. No, I think the biggest thing to me that still gives me confidence that Occupy has already made a huge impact is just the national dialogue. You can say things like capitalism sucks and not be like written off as a psycho. And that's not the most articulate way to say that, but hello. You're allowed to question things in a way that 6 months ago was a very seemingly outside of mainstream views. I think, we showed that there was a ton of people, a silent group of large amounts of people who did have these feelings already, and Occupy just allowed all of us to sort of step forward at the same time and say, oh my gosh, we all actually do believe this, and we can all talk about it. And so now there's a definite difference in the dialogue that's happening on the national level. So that's one thing that we've achieved. Yeah. I think one other thing actually that's been really important that we've achieved is some of the principles of Occupy that deal with horizontalism and collective decision-making process. I think especially initially that was the most exciting thing. Is I don't know how much you guys know about the process that we use, but there's an attempt to create a process that helps displace personal egos and helps create like a collective intelligence that allows every single voice to have a full part in decision making. And that started here, but that now there are pockets of that all over America, all over the world too. But all over America, there are now groups of people collectively coming together, participating in direct democracy. And I think that's another huge thing. Like that did not exist 6 months ago in any way to the scale that it does now.
What changes have you seen in the movement from September to February, big and small? There are some
wow.
ones.
Gosh, it's like a soap opera. I don't know. There's so much. It's really the changes. I don't even know. The changes. What's that? Sure.
There's been.
I think you need to be mic'd if you're going to take it.
Yeah. Let's switch the mic.
Yeah, that would be great because I'm talking too much anyway.
That's not what I meant.
No. I'm sorry.
Let's go ahead. Drop it.
Probably to open the coats.
Thank you, Alma.
Sorry about that. Can you grab this from inside your... Okay. I'm just going to put it right here. If you can put this in your pocket. That's good. Well, it could be worse. Could snow.
It's all good.
Okay, excellent. Sound wise?
We're good.
We're good? Can you hear me? We're good? All right, cool. Awesome. Do you want to repeat the question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Just to the ground. Thank you. That's much better.
When you get tired.
I know.
Just let it go, okay?
Okay. Yeah, what I hear. Well,
It's cool. We can wait. What's up?
I put a glove on this hand and this hand's in front of the leg.
I was just a little bit about. I was going to talk a little about just like way like the organization has changed a little bit in the overall, not like so much specifics.
Sorry, they have a pattern. If I change it, they get all confused.
Can you still hear me? Okay, it's not rubbing against the collar or anything.
Nope.
It's okay. Okay. Awesome.
Okay. What changes have you seen from September to February? Big or small changes in the movement?
Within the movement, there's been a lot of changes made as far as just how the organization and communication with different groups has gone. Like we went originally from initially in the park, there were only 100 people, and general assemblies were the main kind of hub for organizing because we were a small enough group where even with 100 or 50 or so people could gather in one space and start to talk about like, all right, what issues do we want to talk about? What can we learn? That kind of stuff. From there, it's just kind of grown and grown and grown into these different groups. Like initially there were the bigger groups that are now the working groups, for example, Comfort and Kitchen, which took care of a lot of just the basic necessities of community, of providing food, of sharing, sharing comfort with each other, sharing bedding, clothing, whatever was needed. Or stuff like the Arts and Culture Working Group, which is what the Puppet Guild came out of, which is all about talking about how the arts, all the art forms, music, visual art, everything, what place it had in activism, in radical works, and what could be done with that and how it promotes culture. And then from there, it's just slowly, as the organization has been growing and how people have been figuring out the different just areas where you can do radical work, it's just kind of branched out and branched out. So for example, now from the General Assembly came one of the groups, the Arts and Culture Group. But now the Arts and Culture Group, there's a painting guild, there's the puppet guild, there's performance, there's music. And so it's just kind of, sure. Oh, the bed. So the bed.
Yeah, the security here is going to be kind of happy about that.
Oh, the bed.
Good stuff.